because you were out in the bathroom or out with someone. Don't worry about getting your book in right now. Just get to the carpet so you're ready for mini lesson. And that way, you won't miss any important teaching, any important learning. And Anthony, you can just do that later, right? Because you know what to do, and that can be put in later. Right now, we want you to make sure that you're at your seat. Perfect. Okay, readers. The past few days, we've been really kind of going deeper in our nonfiction text. And we talked about how, as nonfiction readers, we don't just read with a regular voice, but we in fact read with what we call an explaining voice, where we stop and we explain what the author was saying, so we make sure we understand the text. And then yesterday, we talked about how when we explain it, we try to use our own words so that we're not just repeating everything that the author said, but instead you're understanding it, and you can use a few words that the author said, but you're using your own words too. Well, today, in reading, we're going to talk about another thing that nonfiction readers do. And that's that nonfiction readers pick out the main idea. So I'm going to talk with you about that today. When readers pick out the main idea of something, they often think about the who and the what. Now here's the tricky thing about nonfiction books. They're not always about a person, right? So the who could be a person, but the who could be an animal, or the who could even be a thing, like a mountain, or a plant, or a... You got it. So the who, like I said, could be a person, an animal, or a thing. After we understand, well, who is this part talking about, then we think, well, what is it doing? What's the action? And when we connect the who and the what, that helps us to get our main idea. I'll show you what I mean. In this book, we've been reading Earth's Changing Surfaces. So we read it using our explaining voices. We put it in our own words. And today I'm going to show you how I pick out the main idea by thinking about the who and the what. The Earth's surface is made of rock, soil, and water. It changes everywhere, every day. A big storm uproots trees. A flood washes away the soil. A rock slide tumbles down a mountain. These are all changes to the Earth's surface that happen quickly. A storm pulled up this tree. Okay, so first I have to think about who are these two pages talking about? Well, it's not a person. It's not an animal. It must be a thing. These two pages are talking about the Earth's surface, right? That's the thing that this is talking about. So that's the who. So what is the Earth's surface doing? It's changing. So the main idea on these pages is that the Earth's surface is changing. I can even have detail in there slowly. This part tells me how it changes slowly. What's the it again? The Earth's surface. So if I were to say the main idea on this page, I would say these two pages are about how the Earth's surface, the who, changes slowly. The what? What's the action? And here's details that describe how it's happened. Let me show you on the next page. Some changes to the Earth's surface happen over a long, long time. Have you ever seen a lake, a valley, or a mountain? Maybe you have walked on an island or a beach. It's hard to believe, but those landforms weren't always there. Let's find out about these and other changes to the Earth's surface. So once again, I think, well, who are these two pages talking about? Okay, who? It's not a person, it's not an animal, it's a thing again. So these two pages are mostly about, again, the Earth's surface. It kind of told me that right away. It's a really good clue. It told me that right away. It was about the Earth's surface. This time, what is the Earth's surface doing? Well, again, it's changing. This time it talks about how it changes fast. So now, these two pages are both about how the Earth's surface, that's the who, how they change, fast or slow. That's the main idea. So when readers think about the main idea of a section or a couple pages, they think about the who mountains already gives you a clue as to the who. Let me read it. Think about the who and the what. Think about the main idea. Mountains. Volcanoes form some mountains. From deep inside the earth, melted rock erupts through the earth's surface. After many eruptions, the rock piles up and forms a mountain. Volcano. Mountains formed by earthquakes. Earthquakes also form mountains. During an earthquake, huge parts of the earth, called plates, slam into each other, cracking the earth's surface and pushing up the rocks and the soil. Over time, the rocks and soil pile up and become mountains. Take a minute, think about the who. Just kind of a thing right here. Who is it talking about? And what is happening to these things? Turn it down. Mountains. These pages are both about mountains. This section is about mountains. That's the who, right? Not really a person, but a thing. It's the who. So what is happening to these mountains? Well, they're being formed by volcanoes and earthquakes. So the main idea of this section is that mountains are formed by volcanoes and earthquakes. And then there's lots of details about how that happens, how the volcano erupts and how the plates collide and crash with the earthquake. But the main idea is the who, the volcanoes, and the what happens, are formed. Today and always, readers, I want you not only to read nonfiction text and use your explaining voices and put it in your own words, but I want you in each section to think about what's the main idea. Who is it about? Could be a person, animal, or even a thing. And what is happening? What's the action that's happening? Today, that's your sound job. Try to find a section, pick out a main idea. So who,